Today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by Bombas, Mountain Dew, Chime, and Aura Frames. Hello, folks, and hey, Bear, Aaron Weber here, reporting live from the Nateland studio desk alongside fellow comedians, fellow Nashvillians, my buddies, two of the best friends any human being could ask for. I got Brian Bates and Dusty Slay right here with me.
Okay.
Nate is not here. He'll be back. He's back next week, right?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure he is. Just putting that out there in the world. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, he is back next week.
Do you believe in manifesting things, Brian? Because I think
Put it out in the world.
you put it out in the world and then it just kind of happens.
I think it's the power of positive thinking.
Well, that's another way of saying the
Yeah,
same
you
thing.
know, but manifesting
secret.
seems like it's witchcraft. But
The secret, right?
but you're just saying this is going to happen, and you're building it up positively for yourself.
Setting a goal and achieving it.
Words have power, and if you're negative about yourself, then it'll start to manifest in you.
Now, there were two books a decade or so ago. I might be getting them mixed up. The Secret.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Well, there's more than two books, period.
Yeah.
And then The Prayer of Jabez. Was that it?
Never heard of that.
Never heard. I didn't read any of that though.
The Prayer of Jabez.
Yeah. And it's been so long, but I think it's Old Testament, Dusty, so you might be into it. But I think he basically, the point is, I think it's okay to ask God to reward you bountiful in finances and wealth. And,
Sure, why not?
and whatever.
The book has been highly criticized and compared to prosperity gospel.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for those things, but I like to, myself, I like to pray that the Lord's will be done, right? Like where it's like if I'm going, I want $1 million, but God's like, I know if I give you $1 million, it's going to ruin your life.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't want the money.
You think you could ruin your life with $1 million?
I don't think so now, but there's a time in my life where it would have ruined my life.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I would say 14 years ago. Before I quit drinking, if you had given me, I don't know, it wouldn't even have to be $1 million. You could have given me
10 grand.
10 grand and I could have ruined my life. But
I was just thinking, you guys, I consider two of my closest friends, but this is the only time in our life where we could have been. 15 years ago, we couldn't have been friends because you were a totally different person, and it would have been creepy for us to be friends.
Where else would we have hung out? Yeah, exactly.
15 years ago, you'd have been
15 years ago, I would have been
18.
16, just turned 17.
So that would have been a little weird for me to be a 30-something.
you would have had a
Year old
great
man.
time hanging out with me, though.
Uh,
I mean, it would have been you'd be drinking more.
You would have been a horrible influence on him.
Yeah. We would have had a great time.
I don't think I would ever have allowed it, but you didn't even like yourself then.
Well, I myself now wouldn't like myself then.
Yeah.
But you were having a good time in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My health. I started feeling too bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was
But
a
I-
problem. I could have kept going if I'd exercised a little.
But now we all have a lot in common. We're all fathers and
That's right.
uh,
Comedians. We're on a podcast.
Podcasters.
yeah.
Podcasters.
We do never-ending podcast. That's what I'm referring to as podcasts in general now. It's like a TV show that never ends.
Yeah. Sounds great. I never want my favorite TV shows to end, dude. Just keep making
But sometimes, with TV shows specifically, podcasts, generally speaking, we're just talking from the beginning. But a TV show, let's use the TV show Heroes. Did you ever watch that one?
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 of Heroes, unbelievable, because it was based on this graphic novel, right?
Mhm.
And then season 2, they were like, oh, we didn't know it was going to do so well. So they scrambled to write season 2. And it was not as good.
That's a superhero show, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like that? A big part of that was before where everything was a superhero movie and everything was a superhero show.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't it it was before all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I mean, imagine trying to do a show like Heroes now. You're like, okay, there's
No, but I'm
15
saying,
of these.
but even by season 2, it had already lost steam because
Okay.
their main story was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just rewatched when I was a kid. I loved the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. And then
Me too.
these
What's he been up to?
I just rewatched them.
you did?
Yeah,
Did they hold up?
I think so.
Well, they didn't.
There's one of the 4 that was pretty weak.
Well, the 3 and 4 I'm not even talking about because those really went down. Even then, I didn't like those too much.
Where was the one where he fought himself as bad Superman?
I think that's 3.
That was pretty awesome.
That's the one with Richard Pryor, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just rewatched 1 and 2. And,
4 is where it really dipped. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, these more
Agree
current
to disagree.
these more current ones, the Man of Steel ones,
Yeah.
that have come out recently.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're so dark, and why can't they
I
be
know.
more like whatever? But then I just watched the first 2 Superman. The special effects are so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this meets somewhere in the middle.
This is what I think. What we need is a Superman movie where he just is rescuing people the whole time. That's
At
all
least start it. Man of Steel, right out of the gate, there's just problems. He never
Yeah.
got to be a hero at all.
Let's just see you, popping around town, rescuing people. Maybe you're not even Superman yet. You're just the guy that everybody knows that can rescue you.
Yeah.
Or maybe leave all this IP alone for 20 years and we'll come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do
I
we
don't.
need a Superman movie?
No,
What's IP?
Intellectual property. All this built in. Sorry to kill the conversation.
No, I just didn't know what it meant. But yeah, I would agree. Take some time off.
Mhm.
They've
they
done.
milked it.
They did one with the guy, I can't think of his name, where he had a son. Remember that?
No.
There was a Superman movie 15 years ago
Okay.
where there was only one with this guy, but he had a son with Lois Lane.
Okay. And did he have superpowers?
Yeah, they didn't.
Superboy?
She didn't realize it was his son, and then Lex Luthor's played by Kevin Spacey.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, I think you have lower standards than I do, Dusty.
Well, I just take the movie for what it is. It's a
Right.
Superman movie.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. I mean, the opening scene of that movie, there's a plane crashing and he catches a plane.
now that is good.
And the Superman return, his return to the world was coming down on a baseball field and lowering a passenger jet in the middle of the baseball field. And they'd not seen him for 20 years. And here he is. He's back.
Now that is pretty good.
That's good.
Dang.
How is he doing that? What is he using?
Superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just
Are you
Yeah.
familiar with Superman?
Yeah.
he's just from a
It's
planet.
kind of like magic.
He's
right?
from a planet
Kind
where
of like magic.
It's the sun.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying I want to be friends with the guy,
No, it's our yellow sun that does it.
Yeah, I mean, he's from a planet where everybody's like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're not as powerful on Krypton as they are here.
Right, but everybody's like that though.
Yeah.
And then he's just compared to us,
Yeah.
much stronger. There's probably a lot of, antichrist symbolism in there, I'm sure.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to dig in.
That wasn't quite where I was going. but
Okay. Well, I felt like you were trying to take some magic digs at me. So
I was a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have
Yeah.
to make it that real.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
happy to be here, huh? We're back at Nateland Studios. What's been going on, man? I hate to jump into it too quickly, but I haven't seen you guys in a while. I want to know what you've been up to. I know you were on the road, Brian.
Yeah, Thursday I did. I was in Gadsden, Alabama.
Oh, Gadsden. I got family from there.
Good.
I went to a funeral in Gadsden.
So did I. My show. No. I did a show for Young Life.
Oh, yeah.
It was very funny. They said, "Yeah, we had Nate spoke at our national convention in L.A. earlier this year, and I'm doing the Gadsden, Alabama chapter of Young Life, that's where it is again.
From LA to AL.
That's right. But I tell you what, I did not feel like I was doing well. I only had to do 30 minutes, and I'm like, I don't feel like I'm doing good.
What's the setup? Are you going up cold? Are you following somebody?
No, totally cold. And
Do they know it's comedy?
I'm still not sure they know it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, are they coming to a comedy event? Like, what's the setup?
Yeah,
Well, Young Life is supposed to be pretty hip. I mean, that's the idea.
that's
right?
probably my first problem.
Is they want they want to appeal to young people, so they
Right.
want things to be Christian and hip.
Yeah.
I remember with Campus Life, which is sort of a Young Life thing that we had like a Christian heavy metal thing we went to one time.
Oh,
I thought it was pretty cool. I never followed up with those bands, but in the moment, I was like, "This is pretty cool."
Well, I feel like I was struggling to the finish line, so I'm like, I got to do something. I gave basically Henry Cho's testimony. I mean, I didn't say it was mine, but I'd never heard of Young Life growing up. But Henry Cho told me how that's how he got involved in church, was through Young Life.
Yeah.
So I shared Henry's. I'm like, you guys know Henry Cho? No? Well, I'm going to tell you his testimony anyway. And I shared about Henry. I shared someone else's testimony.
That was your closer?
Yeah, just to finish it out.
All right, so it's going well then.
Yep. That was Thursday. Great time.
Was it like teenagers in the crowd?
No, this was for like
volunteers
and adults, just to raise money and things like that. There were some of the kids there, but this was for adults. Friday, I did one of those Don't Tell Nashville shows in town. Everybody in the audience and on the show besides me were like 23. But I did great.
Yeah. I feel old
You're
on those
a great
shows.
comic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are a professional comedian.
Yeah.
As much as we joke about you not being. Like you are a professional comic. You've done it a long time. You can figure out how to do well in any room. Those Don't Tell shows, I don't know if you're listening, they have these Don't Tell shows all over the country in different cities. And the way it works is you sign up and then they, it's like a hidden location, hidden lineup. They send you the info morning of after you buy a ticket. And then you never know who's going to pop in. But they are usually young, like date nights.
Yep.
I feel like an old man at a lot of them, dude.
Yeah. That was Friday. Saturday, I was in Litchfield, Kentucky, at the Alice Theater. I took my friends Paula Kaczynski and John DeToy with me.
Nice.
All right.
They did great.
Great comics.
They're great comics. They're such a great couple. They're so positive that
they are.
I found us saying just positive things about comics the whole time on the trip, which is weird.
They're very nice people.
Yeah, too nice.
Very nice people. Very funny.
Yeah. They're great.
John, we talked about John on the podcast before. He's the guy that plays yo-yos. I don't know, plays
a real asset to the Nashville comedy scene.
They both are. They both are for sure.
They really bring a positive vibe to the Nashville comedy scene.
They do.
I like that.
I do.
I'd like them to get jaded a little bit.
Well, I just want to trash some comics, but they're so positive.
I know, that's
in the
what
car
I'm saying.
ride, I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to trash some people.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I was trying to trash you two, but they really love y'all.
That's fine. You got to, you got to do it.
Yeah.
There's plenty to talk about with me.
But a lot of folks came out. That was a great show Saturday night in Litchfield, and then last night I was in London, Kentucky, doing a show it's called Laugh All Night. It's for New Missions, which does a lot of things, but this particular one sponsors some orphans in Haiti. And it was at a church there in London, and I did it with a few other comics. And
did you eat at the restaurant?
I didn't. The guy who Dusty was telling me about a steakhouse there in London, Kentucky.
Shiloh.
But the organizer, he wanted to take us out, but we went where he wanted to take us. I wasn't going to say, no, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So, great time last night in London, Kentucky.
How late was the show? Like, how late did it go to?
Not late at all.
Give me a time.
I think it was over by 8:30.
Laugh All Night is what it's called.
Yeah, I pointed that out last week.
I know, but
he pointed it out.
I just wanted specifically to know what time it went to.
Yeah, there was about 60 to 75 minutes of laughing.
And people are like, we're going to be here all night or what?
I'm not even laughing. No, it was great.
That's awesome.
Good time. Your buddy Bob Smiley was on the show, and Rick Roberts and Sean Reynolds and Michelle McNair Miller, I think.
All right.
Who I never met, but they were all very funny.
Fun lineup.
And great night. And that was it.
All right. Joking around is our whole thing here, but what we do take seriously is our socks. I can't stand when my socks have that irritating toe seam or the get twisted in my shoe. So I started to only wear Bombas, the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. This holiday season, Bombas are the perfect gift for your work friends, cousins, or just anyone that is super picky and hard to buy for. Everyone I know that has tried them instantly loves the snug and comfortable fit. That is true. People on this podcast, everybody's wearing them, and they're all like, we love them. They're the best socks I've ever owned. Bombas even come in slippers. They're slippers that are designed with marshmallow-like memory foam and are all wrapped up in Sherpa. Once you put them on, it's hard to switch to real shoes. But no matter what you get, your purchase creates a very real clothing donation for someone experiencing housing insecurity. During cold months, something like a new pair of socks can make a big impact. And thanks to Bombas loyalists all over the world, they've donated over 140 million essential clothing items. I think I think you'll love. They're pressuring me to go fast. I want to give Bombas their time here.
Give it to them.
I think you'll love Bombas, but even if you don't, you're still covered with totally free and easy return or exchange. So, ready to feel good and do good? Head over to bombas.com/Nate and use code Nate for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Nate, code Nate at checkout. Hey, I wasn't anywhere this weekend. I didn't do comedy. I went to McMinnville.
Are we skipping Aaron, or is he already said he
Well,
didn't do anything?
I thought he's hosting the show, so he would go last. I
Oh,
would think.
okay.
All right.
I would think that.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, go boom, boom. It's like a rotation here. Think of us like a circle. You go this way, and then you go here.
You can also go this way in a circle.
Yeah, but he started it. He passed it to you
Right.
first, so now you're passing it back to him.
We're going counterclockwise.
Yeah, you don't pass it back. You pass it around.
Mhm.
You know, you can, if you go north long enough, you'll eventually be going south. But if you go
Well.
east or west, you're always either going that direction.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is fun. I like that. Latitude and longitude.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
So where were you?
Yeah. Well, I just want to say I went to McMinnville. We hung out a little bit and a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Went to Tammy's, had some burgers.
Yep.
Tammy's is still the best restaurant in McMinnville. Shout out. But I want to make an announcement. I'm recording another special.
Whoa.
Yes, February 28th at the Walker Theater in Chattanooga.
Beautiful
Tennessee.
theater, beautiful
It is a
town.
beautiful
My
theater.
last special I filmed in Knoxville. Now I'm filming in Chattanooga. I think I'm going to do all my specials in cities of Tennessee.
McMinnville next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe so.
They
But
got a beautiful theater.
well,
there.
next is Chattanooga, February 28th. And today is pre-sale tickets. So today, Wednesday, you can get pre-sale. I got two things here. I got artist pre-sale is on Wednesday. I don't know what that means really, but the code is SLAY. The pre-sale code is SLAY.
Nice.
And then Thursday is local pre-sales. And I don't know what that means. But then official on sale is Friday. But get tickets. 2 shows, February 28th, Chattanooga, Tennessee,
That's
Walker
awesome.
Theater. It's going to be great. I'm filming another special, and it's going to be...
It's gonna be 2 hours. How long is it
hot.
gonna be? A 2
I
hour
don't know.
special.
Well, I have been working to try to narrow, I want only an hour long special.
Uh-huh.
I think anything longer than an hour is too long. My last one was, an hour, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8. I don't know how long, but it's,
That's with the credits. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for most people, I'd say yeah, but for you, I'd say at least an hour 20.
yeah. Well, I think when you go to a live show, you get your money's worth.
Yeah.
out of it,
Mhm.
but if you're watching at home, an hour is what you want.
All right.
That's what I think. Like if there were more hour-long movies, I would watch more movies.
Mhm.
But like when I go, how long is this movie? Oh, an hour 50? Nah, I'll just watch YouTube again.
I watched 3 hours of YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Instead
exactly.
of this 2 hour movie.
Right.
You know what I have been doing though, real fast? I've
Yeah.
been taking DVDs,
Uh-huh.
not Blu-ray, DVDs, and burning them onto my computer and having the digital
Yeah.
copy.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
very low. It's not low resolution necessarily, but it's a low memory file. I can easily airdrop it to my phone and watch movies on the plane, and then I can watch all of these great old movies on my phone.
You're airdropping the movie
Yeah,
to your phone. So how small is the file?
I don't know.
Is this like four?
But I mean, when you're looking on your phone, it still looks good.
Does it really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like pixelated.
Okay. From
Yeah.
a DVD.
Yeah,
All right.
Blu-ray is different.
Yeah, sure.
Blu-ray's harder to do,
Uh-huh.
but
That's exciting. What are you watching?
well,
Superman.
I've only done one trip with it, but I think I taught Lords of Flatbush was one of
Yeah,
them, and
okay.
then Run Ronnie Run, which I haven't finished.
All right.
But Run Ronnie Run is really funny. It's David Cross. It really seems like the inspiration for Joe Dirt, which is Joe Dirt's one of my favorite movies of all time.
People say you look like a cross between David Cross and Joe
Yeah.
Dirt.
I was gonna say.
But Run Ronnie Run is really funny.
All right. I'll
And
check it out.
I thought it would be
You airdrop it to me later? I mean,
well,
why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I got space.
All right.
All right. We'll make it
Okay.
happen. Anyway.
Where
this
were
is
you
great.
at?
Yeah, no, hold on. Well, you interrupted something to say that.
You're special.
You're talking about your special.
I already pitched it though. I did the whole pitch.
All right. Yeah, nothing else to.
February 28th.
Do you know what you're going to do with it? What's it going to be? Or?
I don't know where it'll end up. There's no, last time I filmed a special, I didn't know where it was going to end up. I just filmed it. I just filmed a high quality, top of the line special,
right,
with A+ jokes and visual quality. And then Netflix was like, we got to have it.
Wow.
And so that's what I want to do with this one. I got some people have said they like this hour better than my last special.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to this hour. And
Great.
Plus I'm ready to move on to some other jokes.
Yeah.
So I need to get them down. And
you got this new hour quick.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. Your special hadn't even come out yet and you had it already out there going.
Yeah. I don't know that I'll be able to do that this next time, but I feel good though. I was digging through some old notebooks today and there's a lot of stuff that I wrote down in the past that I was like, these are good ideas. I just wasn't good enough to make them jokes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to kind of dig into some of that.
You got to do that smoking in the rental car bit.
Oh yeah. I do have to do
that one. That would fit in your act pretty easily.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Dusty.
Yep. Big time.
Thank you.
Big
Thanks,
time.
guys. I appreciate you.
And it's called what?
I don't know what it's going to be called yet. The last one's called Working Man, which is still available on Netflix. By the way, I got another hour that's on YouTube. It's at 3 million views. Hit 3 million views. So I don't know what the next one's going to be called, but we go Working Man, and then we don't want to do. I feel like we don't even want to do in the same realm.
You mean like Lounging Man or something like that?
or something.
Mm-hmm. That's fun. It's fun to think about. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
What you heard?
I'm recording a special at the Ryman.
All right.
For Netflix. No, I'm not. I did just perform at the Ryman. I forgot to mention it last week, but I opened for Kathleen Madigan at the Ryman here in town.
Oh, I opened for her last year there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. Beautiful theater. It's like the best. It might be the best.
It's so fun.
It
to
might be the
perform
best theater in the country.
Yeah.
I don't know what else would be better.
It's
Y'all have done a lot of the
gotta
big
be up
ones,
there.
right? I mean, it's like sounds perfect, feels good. It feels like a club, as dumb as that sounds. But they're kind of right on top of you. And
Yeah.
you say it does sound dumb?
And no, it sounds
Okay.
like a club. It
Okay.
sounds intimate.
Okay.
You can't do 2 questions back to back like that.
That's true.
I do that to my daughter. My daughter will answer the second question. I say, do you want to go here? Or do you want to go there? And she'll say yes. It's like, it's the second one she wants.
Anyway.
And Nate's CBS holiday special is filming this week. I think
Yeah.
Thursday at the Grand Ole Opry House.
That's right.
That's where he is today. He's getting ready for that.
Mhm.
That's going to be super exciting. I think that comes out, was it December 19th?
Yeah.
So-
December 19th, co-produced by Lorne Michaels.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff. So keep an eye out for that. A lot happening at Nateland. I'll mention a couple things very quickly, and then we'll talk more about it later. But Greg Warren, friend of the show, one of the best, he's recording his next hour special in Columbus, Ohio, November 23rd. First show sold out. There are tickets available to the second show. And then Mike Vecchione, old friend of the show, he's recording an hour special in Nashville, December 28th. Tickets available for both shows. So if you want to check out a couple specials of go to see Dusty's in February, but if you want to see some other Nateland friends, we got a couple options there for you in the coming months.
That's awesome.
I do want to say we've all performed in Chattanooga a lot over the years at the Comedy Catch. And Chattanooga has always been a great comedy place. I like it. That's why I'm excited to do the special there.
Yeah. And they've got a couple of theaters, Walker being one of them, that are really nice. And,
Yeah. I miss the Comedy Catch. I do miss them.
The Comedy Catch is like, that's a mainstream room, dude. That's like trying to figure out the way to describe it. I remember being very young in comedy, and I went to Chattanooga and did the Comedy Catch, and I was like, oh, this is real people.
Yeah.
So different from, where you perform as an open micer. Where
JJ's Bohemia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Places like that. JJ's is great. JJ's is fun.
Right.
But it's just totally different.
But it's it's more of a it sounds bad to say, but it's like more of a hip scene, right? Once you go to an actual mainstream club, it is regular people.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, I gotta my hip cultural references may not get me by here.
Yeah, they don't know what you're talking about.
yeah.
People have jobs. They
Yeah.
don't know like the new snarky thing to talk about on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh man, I need to figure it out because these are the crowds that you need to be able to perform in front of these crowds.
Well, that's how it was for me in Charleston. Charleston was like a real like hip artsy city, and I was like doing really well there. And then when I left and started working the road, I was like, oh man, this is a different thing out here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, last time we talked about Comedy Catch, wasn't there didn't Danielle, the owner, challenge you, Dusty, to a swimming race?
Yeah, I'm ready.
To build but it was a green room was on the line, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So nothing ever came of that.
Well, I'm ready. You know
Well,
what
here's
I mean?
what came of it. Dusty's coming back to the city
Mm-hmm.
and recording a special at a different venue. So there you go.
Well, let's swim.
Who wins in the end?
Hey, if there's an indoor pool in Chattanooga, let's do it.
All
Let's do
right.
it after the special.
That's right.
So that I don't get hurt. Because when I was in Canada, I talked about this on my own podcast, but when I was in Canada, I swam in a lake up there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was swimming, and I was like, man, my shoulders are older now,
Mhm.
and it is not as easy.
Well, swimming uses muscles you don't use
Yeah.
in everyday life.
So
you
I
know?
admitted on my own podcast that I may not be as fast as I once was. But you know what? Just like that old Toby Keith song, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. That's what I think. Give me one straight shot.
Yeah.
I think I can.
All right.
Did you guys watch the Mike Tyson fight?
I did,
No.
man. Exciting, thrilling. Down to the last round. It was really close. The fight right before it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I forget their names.
I don't
It
know.
was an unbelievable fight. And then the Mike Tyson fight was like it was like sad. It was like depressing. I got mad that I watched it.
I do think that's part of it, though. You have
Yeah.
these big headlining things just to get people to watch these other, really good fighters
Mm-hmm.
that otherwise nobody would be watching.
A lot of people saying the fight itself was rigged.
That probably is.
The Tyson fight?
Yeah. Yeah.
For what reason?
To make tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, you don't want to make.
Well, they're going to make that anyway, though.
Yeah,
like,
but I
right-
think Jake Paul might be kind of the future of boxing for at least entertainment purposes. So if he wins, it looks good. And if Mike Tyson knocks him out at 60 years old, which he probably could have, I think, if he knocks him out at 60 years old, that's not looking too good for Jake
I
Paul.
see. So you think y'all think Tyson could have won?
No.
I think so.
No, I mean, dude, he's 60. I remember like when it happened, I was like, I feel dumb for ever thinking this could have been close.
Everybody thought Tyson was going to kill him.
Yeah, well,
Because that was nostalgia. I shouldn't say everyone.
Sure. You remember Mike
I
Tyson
think
when
the
he
guy's
was,
still got that strength.
18
though.
years old, 19 years old, knocking everybody out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up.
Well, this is a 27-year-old kid who's a good boxer,
Yeah.
who's knocked people out before,
Yeah,
versus a 60-year-old man.
yeah, 50.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's the greatest of all time, he was the greatest of all time 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So I felt dumb for even thinking this could have been close. I should have bet a lot of money on what is now the obvious.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it's obvious.
Well, not to Dusty.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't think if, I think if Mike Tyson really got some licks on him, I think he could have knocked him out. I mean, Mike
I mean,
Tyson's still super
Sure, he
strong.
could have, but he didn't.
Right, but he didn't
Mike
because
Tyson
you
had-
can't. I think it's I think boxing is easy to rig, and I think that's why it went down in popularity because people caught on to it. So I
Mhm.
think it's easier to rig than
You said if Mike Tyson landed more punches, he could have won.
I didn't watch the fight,
It's-
to be
yeah.
fair, but I do think
The New
That is
York
how
Jets
boxing
could
works.
score more points. They could have won the game. It's like, yeah, that's how it works.
yeah, of course. But I'm saying though, I think he could have done it. I mean,
and was deliberately.
yeah, I saw a
pulling back.
couple of highlights on the internet where he like lit him up a couple of times, and I'm like, yeah, he could have kept that going, and he would have been out.
I think he was out of energy by that third round, and if he hadn't done it by then, he was just holding on.
Maybe.
He looked wiped by
Yeah.
the end.
And maybe,
Yeah,
That's
I
the
didn't watch
age.
the
That's
fight.
where the age sets in.
yeah.
Well, you missed. I mean, Netflix really handled all the traffic really well. I mean, it was was it a nightmare for you too? It was
you know what?
cutting out every 2 seconds.
No, I mean, there was a few times where it never really even buffered on me. A couple times it wasn't clear. It would
Got pixelated. For
Pixelate a little bit.
Resolution dropped.
Yeah.
yeah.
but
It's a mess for me. But it's one of those. I mean, kudos to them. They pulled off. They made
Yeah,
tens
Mike
of millions
Tyson
of dollars.
got to make a little money here at the end, and
20 million, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
big
made
time.
a ton of money,
yeah.
and we all watched a big nothing.
I feel like that's so many of Mike Tyson's fights over the last several years. Like, well, I remember watching a Lennox Lewis fight way back.
That was his last real big one.
Yeah, and it was like he just got punched in the face a ton of times.
That was people still holding on to Tyson, still had something.
Right.
Yeah,
Lennox Lewis was the champion. And then,
he was so big.
yeah,
The people's champion. Do you want to get into some comments?
let's do it.
Comments come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast Reviews, and at Brian Bates Comic on Instagram.
No.
Cole Slaw.
Nateland at natebargatze.com.
Okay. Nateland at natebargatze.com. First comment comes from Cole Slaw.
I love coleslaw.
I love Cole Slaw is great, but do you think his first name's actually Cole and it's Slaw is a nickname? Or do you think that that's a
I
real
think
name?
his real name's Cole, not Slaw.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cole Slaw. I don't think there's ever been a bad episode of Nateland. I'll challenge you on that. But this one was particularly enjoyable. The combination of the subject, the fact that all the hosts were there, and Joe Zimmerman was such a fun guest. He's been catapulted onto my Mount Rushmore of Nateland guests, along with War Dog and Vecchione.
Who's War Dog?
That's Greg Warren.
Oh, Warren.
That was his
Yeah.
old nickname back in the
Okay,
wrestling days.
Yeah.
okay.
War Dog.
All right.
That's a high compliment. That's high praise for a Nateland fan right there.
Yeah.
For a barbecue side, to give us this compliment. Getting compliments from sides.
Next comment: potato salad. Just no, it's Erica Zakareski. Erica Zakareski. Erica Z. Just wanted to acknowledge Blackbird Bates saying "who" when Dusty said he thought the dove was an owl because of the sound it made. No one at the table laughed. I laughed out loud. You're welcome.
Boom. Thank you, Erica.
I don't think Brian was making a joke. I think that you just, Erica, you caught it. You're like, that's a good joke, but I don't think he was making a joke.
I think he was, but I think it got what it deserved.
Not only did I make it, I even looked at the camera and kind of like, well,
You gymmed him?
Yeah.
You gymmed.
a little bit.
Oh, that's fun to do on an audio podcast.
Have you heard
Well, we know about it now.
a dove, though? I used to think that there was an owl outside my house, and then one day I saw a dove sitting on my back deck.
Yeah, you told us this last week.
I didn't get into the details. And then I saw it making the sound.
Who?
And but it's like, ooh, like I can't do it, but it's like, you could play a dove sound, but
Okay.
Well, thank you, Erica. I'm playing chess. These guys are playing checkers. Let's move on.
There's a great. You ever watch old Steve Harvey stand up?
yeah,
One of the best of all time. One of my
Steve's
favorite.
the best.
He's got a story about going to his niece's wedding in Cleveland, and it's just sort of like he keeps calling it a raggedy wedding. It's just like, anyway, he takes us through the whole story. But at the end, he's like, they go out for the releasing of the doves at this wedding with no budget, all this. He said they opened the dove cage. All kinds of birds was in there. There wasn't a dove in the bunch. They had pigeons came out, black crows, chickens came. I think about that every time I see the word dove.
That's funny.
Go check that out. It's called Ghetto Wedding or something like that. But it's Steve Harvey's so good. Kristen Wood. I'm pretty sure Aaron mentioned he was going to see Creed in a previous episode. All of this could have been avoided. I don't remember doing that, but
I thought there was an episode a few months ago where you said you were going to see them at Ascend Amphitheater.
that's right. I had a lot of the details mixed up.
And then Nate did say, then I am too.
Oh, okay.
And then 3 months later, when you guys said you saw him at Bridgestone, like, man, Creed comes to Nashville a lot.
That's right. yeah. Jumping around venues
Yeah.
too. Rob White, not Ron White. Rob White. With Dusty and his conspiracy theories, I'm surprised no one has mentioned the birds aren't real movement.
Well, I think that's kind of a hack conspiracy.
Well, it's not even that. People always say, I can't believe Dusty's not into it. That's making fun of conspiracy
It
theories.
is. Yeah. It's like an ironic. Some of the videos they
I
make
mean,
are
there
very
probably
funny.
are some fake birds. I mean, let's be honest. But birds are real. I mean, come on, guys.
But what is the bird?
We did a whole episode on like spy gear and how it's like at this point, I bet they got some pigeons in New York City that are
Well, I do think,
robots.
yeah, I don't know about New York, but
Come
I do think they've created spy gear. Yeah, like I do think that's
Yeah.
true. Birds or humming bees or, I mean,
Mhm.
that is a bird, but
Humming bees.
I mean, hummingbirds. Hummingbirds.
honeybees.
You think the hummingbirds are fake?
Could be. That'd be the easiest one to fake.
See, I don't think so. I think that'd be a really hard one to
Why?
make.
Why?
Well, a
It
pigeon.
looks like a drone almost.
A pigeon in New York City, maybe,
Yeah.
but a pigeon in New York City just walking around on the streets.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What's it do? It spy it on people at the bus stop?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Everybody's in New York.
Maybe. So our I guess so some of them aren't real, but most of them are.
Well, I'm just saying the birds aren't real movement. So many of the conspiracy movements that are actually mainstream, I believe it's all controlled opposition.
What
But
is
they're
controlled
not claiming to really think that. Their whole thing is just to make fun of conspiracy theorists.
What does controlled opposition mean?
Well, it's like, you want to create the other side. Like you're like,
sure.
we're going to say we support the conspiracy, but then they'll usually go so over the top and crazy with it that they actually become a joke.
Right.
Sure. To take credibility away from the other.
Yes.
The other side. That's perfectly fair.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Higgins. I use an app called Merlin that will listen to all the bird songs that are currently audible and then tell you which birds you're hearing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, a few
That's
people
cool.
told us that. Merlin.
But how would you even know if it's accurate?
Just like Shazam. I don't know.
I know, but you just have to trust it to know
Mhm.
because you can't confirm it. You can't ask it. Hey, what kind of
If
bird are you?
Merlin could tell me what they were saying, that would be
It could
impressive.
tell you what they're saying.
If it could do that, this would be the top comment of the podcast.
Yeah.
If there was an app that could translate bird language. Marsha Coke. Great name. Marsha Coke and Coleslaw. I mean, we got unbelievable names today.
Yeah.
Marsha Coke. Autobahn versus Autobahn had me yelling at the TV. I don't know how the crew behind the camera keep from correcting him. Hilarious episode.
I don't understand how Marsha Coke doesn't see how those two things aren't pretty similar.
It's hilarious. Of all the egregious errors we made on the podcast, that's one where you're like, all right, I've had enough. Somebody correct them.
She's yelling at the TV. You got to lay off the Cokes there, Marsha.
Marsha Coke, the Coke family. That's a great name.
I get it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Jim and John Coke.
I told Tristan to never open his mouth, so
Yeah.
better not say anything.
A lot of times the crew does try to speak up. Brian shuts them down
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't know who you think you're talking to.
Shut it.
I'm Breakfast Bates.
That's right.
Next comment comes from JBDDS. JBDDS. JB. Yeah. Dusty. Think about all the millions of babies that now get immediate skin to skin after birth because of that study. Science is beautiful, man. The parents also consented to participate in the study. So the researchers weren't sick or evil or anything. They were just trying to figure out what is best for babies. And they debunked the opposing theory that NICU babies should be kept in incubators for fear of germs.
Well, all right, buddy. But
All right, JB,
Yeah,
DDS.
it's like
A lot of good
yeah.
points there.
Okay, so I mean, no one saying science is not beautiful,
Except you.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's the biggest common misconception is that people think that everything a scientist does is beautiful, and it's like, yeah, science is great, but just because who doesn't know that when the baby is born, that the baby who the mom has been carried this whole time should go right to its mom and let its mom hold them. And then it's cold and the skin to skin warms them up. Who doesn't know that? Everyone knows that.
I'm going to push back on that. I don't think that that's intuitive and obvious that of all the immediate concerns for a newborn baby, that skin to skin contact should be a priority. I don't think you knew that. I don't think you would know that.
I knew it.
If you got parachuted into a birth of a child knowing nothing, you would go, well, obviously make sure the skin touches the mother immediately.
Well, no, but you would go, all right, that baby just came out of the mom. Let the mom hold the baby.
Well, that's not what they're saying. They're saying that there's an immediate medical benefit for the skins to be touching each other.
Yeah, but
such that it takes priority over other things that need to be done to a newborn?
I don't think so. I think, sometimes things need to be done. Sometimes immediate things need to be done. But I think the natural immediate thing that needs to be done is that the mother and the child should bond and should hold close to each other. And it's like, I think that's an obvious
But
one.
why?
Well, it doesn't matter why.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't matter why. You want to make sure that child is comforted by its mother, and that it's like the person that's been carrying me, the voice that I've heard, I now recognize the first person I see in this world is the mom that's carried me for 9 months, and I think it's just obvious. And the why I think is secondary to just knowing that it's obvious.
But your why is wrong. This isn't in the one you just stated is wrong. It's not like for the emotional benefit of the mother or for the baby. They're saying that there is a literal physical thing happening.
Well, sure, but that doesn't make me wrong. It means that, because of this natural instinct that we have that the baby should be close to its mother immediately, results in this positive scientific thing happening. All we've done here is we go, well, we know that this makes sense, but let's dig into it and let's find out what it really does. It doesn't make anybody wrong, but it's obvious that all of nature, the moment the baby is born, it needs to bond with its mother. I mean, all animals.
I could understand an argument, though, if it was a preemie, a baby, a sick baby. I can understand the thought, like, oh, the best thing we can do for it is to get it in an incubator where it doesn't get any germs to make it sick.
Just temperature regulation is a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if there are problems, it's like, all right, let's do some, let's take some precautions. But even then, I think there should be a moment. I personally believe that the first person the baby lays eyes on and makes eye contact with should be its mom. I think it's very important for eye contact, for this baby to know, hey, here's my mom. This is what she sounds like. I know what she sounds like. This is what she looks like. I think that's very important.
How would that work?
What do you mean?
For her to be the first
Why
one?
do you think that's
Well,
important?
even if the baby sees other things, it's still handed to her, and that they lock in that eye contact, making. I think that's important. I think the eyes are the window to the soul, as it said. So it's like, let's make some eye contact with my mom, the one that's carried me. Right. I wanted to make sure that happened with our babies, and I'm secondary. I'm next, but I wanted to make sure that Hannah and our kids had that real time together before I ever got involved.
Right.
I saw a picture of you holding baby Olive. And,
he came by yesterday.
Babies are the sweetest, most delicate things in the world, and it's like that comfort of being like, all right, what's going on? I've been in this womb for this amount of time, and now I'm coming out. And now all these doctors and all these people, they got lights and everywhere. Where's my mom? I think that so the baby doesn't have some trauma right away. It's like, give me my mom, and then if there's things that happen, obviously we gotta take care of them, but. I think it's important to have that mom-baby connection.
Yeah, and all this guy's saying is that, they confirm that with the...
Well, I don't remember all what we talked about, but he goes, the researchers weren't sick or evil or anything.
We were joking about them being sick.
But I'm like,
were we?
I don't know what I don't remember what the study was.
We're talking about the study proved that skin-to-skin contact was beneficial.
Yeah, but what was the study?
And then we joked that it was like, what, did they deprive some babies from skin-to-skin? That's kind of sick to do that.
Right, well,
the point is, we didn't... The study was... Okay, I guess you nailed it.
Well, I mean, just think about it, though. This guy wants to believe that this is just some, lovely scientist just having tea, going, ooh, I can't wait till we find some research on babies and figure out what helps them. Yeah. When really probably some sick people in some sterile room somewhere going, all right, here's the baby, get it out of here, and it's just like, they don't care. And that's my take. This guy's take is everything is roses and rainbows, and mine is a more realistic point of view, and that the world is sick. We live in a sick world out here.
Right.
Could be the name of your next special.
Yeah, the world is sick out here.
I mean, and it's like we got to do our best to make sure our babies get love
Yeah.
because there
Yeah.
are a lot of sickness out here. And I'm not saying I don't know these scientists, but I think a lot of these experiments are sick.
Yeah, not necessarily this one,
Who knows? But
which is trying to
a
help
guy
babies
that
after
won't
birth.
even put any of it. He won't even use any vowels in his name.
JBDS.
Coming at
I guess he's
me.
a dentist.
I mean,
Is that what DDS means?
Yeah.
That's like MD, but for dentists.
Mhm.
I mean,
So this is Dr. JB. He's a dentist.
I guess.
Okay,
he's
so
doing
look,
a lot of root canals on people.
I know he's
and-
doing root canals on babies. This
Yeah.
guy's sick, dude. This guy's sick, JB.
I mean, come on.
You should be ashamed
But
of yourself.
I just, I don't know that these people were sick, right? But it's just like the idea that
You
he's
knew
like,
that meant dentist the whole time. You're just gonna let us look like idiots.
I just assumed
he goes,
you went to Notre Dame.
science is beautiful, man. The parents also consented to participate in the study. Did they? Did you talk to them?
Oh, you're putting a lot of tone of voice into that. I'm gonna read the same comment, but in how I think you wrote it.
Okay.
Science is beautiful, man. The parents also consented to participate in the study.
Did they though?
I mean, yeah. But you read that as science is beautiful, man. You know,
he
he's
had
not
an
yelling at us.
He had an exclamation point. He goes, skin after skin birth because of that study. He had an exclamation
Is that
point.
how you read every sentence with an exclamation
Yes,
point?
it is.
Exclamation point doesn't necessarily imply anger from whoever's writing it. But
Yeah.
I want to see
Yeah.
the study that says how many babies got skin to skin contact before this study and then how many after. I want to see because he said millions of babies that now get immediate skin to skin birth because of that study. But maybe they were all doing skin to skin birth before that. And these doctors were like, do we really need this? Let's do a study to see if it even helps. Maybe that's what happened.
I think now, because I just went through this, it was like procedural. They told us it's like right after the baby's born, one of the first thing they do is they're gonna put her up for skin to skin. So it's just like part of the process now.
Maybe it was before, though. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I love this guy, JBDDS, period.
I feel so dumb. I didn't know that meant Dennis. But who puts that in there? Did he
I-
identify himself
I
that
think
way?
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why it's capital D, little d, capital
I
S.
think it's
That's
a lie.
like PhD. The little H is little.
I think it's
Okay.
a lie.
All right.
You know what we all need to get more of? We need to get off our butts and get into some action. And it's fun to do that with Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew has bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick. It'll get you off the sofa and have you feeling like you're charging up the side of an actual mountain. You know, that kind of mountain where the weather's perfect, your friends are ready to hang, and a full day of epic games are happening. Can you imagine? I can. Check out all these amazing flavors. Original, Baja Blast, Code Red, Voltage. I mean, the Baja Blast is the best. I'll debate anybody on that. When I get to go on tour, especially with Nate, they love to play games. You've seen the pictures. We've talked about it. We're doing stuff all over the place. Basketball. The best part of that is relaxing afterwards, cooling off with a refreshing Mountain Dew. The mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do. And I just want to reiterate, it really is a great drink. And you should drink it. Lindsay Blair. It's the next comment. Lindsay Blair. Dusty is the real life version of Bill Hader's character Dave from Hot Rod, and I cannot unsee it. I'm actually curious to hear Aaron's thoughts on the movie since we're around the same age. I'm 32. It's one of my favorite comedies, but it's definitely a love it or hate it movie. We're having some internet connectivity problems here.
Do you know
I've never
this
seen
movie?
the movie.
Never heard of it.
I like Bill Hader, though, so I'm into
I
it.
like Bill Hader, but
It's I looked it up. I think it's the Andy Samberg movie where they're like racing dirt bikes.
Yeah, I remember seeing previews for the movie, but I never saw the movie. But
no, you do kind of look like him. Yeah, he's got a wolf t-shirt on.
oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm into it.
all right.
Thanks, Lindsay. I guess.
Yeah.
That's a compliment, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I haven't seen it, Lindsay. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen. I still haven't seen Snow Day with Josh Peck.
I'll burn it
So-
and airdrop it to you.
Okay. Yeah, please do. Please airdrop it. Dude. Just start airdropping movies around the plane, too.
yeah.
Anybody trying to watch Limitless? Just start airdropping it.
Yeah.
a hero of the plane. Susan
Oh,
Gassman.
especially if the internet's not working on the plane.
Oh,
and I
you're a
go,
hero.
I got movies I can airdrop to.
Yeah, yeah. What are you looking for? Comedy, romance, drama?
Oh, yeah.
Susan Gassman. That's a tough name. Gassman. The Gas Man.
How did they know I had gas? Remember that?
Susan Gassman. Veal is young beef, lamb is young sheep, and mutton is older sheep. Dusty is correct that if you want to eat younger animals as older animals can be more tough. Also, a general rule of thumb is that you want to eat animals that eat grass or corn.
Yeah, come on, Susan. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Finally, Dusty was a right comment up in here.
Okay. Wait. I never thought about that. All the animals you eat grass or corn. All right.
Well, not necessarily, right?
I mean, what else?
All the animals I eat. I don't even like corn.
fish.
I don't even
eat.
like corn though, because we got a lot of GMO corn out here now.
Mhm.
But
I heard that
fattens them up though.
the only two edible foods that you don't have to kill something for is milk and honey.
Mm.
How about that? Though I bet you kill some bees in the process of getting honey, don't you think? I mean, they're making
I
the
think
honey.
if you're good at it.
But they're making honey for a reason, right?
I don't know why they make it. I guess it is for a reason. Though.
Yeah. So you're taking it from
Maybe
them.
we should do a study. Maybe JBDDS knows about it.
You don't think that's important to know, like how we treat bees?
Yeah, I do.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get some studies.
Let's
then.
see if skin to skin matters to bees when they're born, fur to fur,
That would hurt.
wing to wing. Does it matter?
That's good. I think I mistakenly I forgot what veal was,
Yeah.
and I got some comments about it.
Yeah, we
people
messed
are
up.
not happy.
We messed up.
People went, "Oh, Mr. Notre Dame doesn't know what veal is," as if that's like a
That's
course you take at
That's
Notre
the
Dame.
first thing they teach at
That's
Notre
right. I
Dame.
majored in cuts of meat.
Butcher
It's in the arts
Aaron.
and letters department.
Butcher Brian.
That's right.
Butcher Bates.
Thank you, Susan Gassman. Sorry I harped on your name so much. Next comment comes from Bren3669. I don't think the Pinocchio paradox is an actual paradox. Being wrong isn't the same as lying.
Well, in this made up scenario
Mm-hmm.
I
that
think
we
he
can,
misunderstands the paradox, though.
I don't think so. I had the same. I asked the same question.
yeah, I just feel like for this made up pretend scenario, Pinocchio did know and was lying. You can make it either way, but for the paradox to work, yeah, he would have to know that that's not true, what I just said.
I want him to ask, is Geppetto a good dad?
People loved your breakdown of Pinocchio. Then once you
Yeah.
break down all the kids' stories.
Yeah, we got to go through some old Disney
Yeah.
movies and let's
Yeah.
just dissect them together.
I mean, I agree. If Pinocchio was just mistaken, then that wouldn't be a paradox, right?
So, can we walk through it again very quickly? Pinocchio says, "My nose is about to grow.
Yes. My nose grows now.
My nose grows now."
Yeah. And in the way I took it, he's telling somebody that he knows that's not true, but he tells them that. He lies to him on purpose. And then, but since he lied, that made his nose grow. But then since it grew, technically he was telling the truth. So it shouldn't have grown.
Okay.
Well, you said you.
No. I mean, yeah, I'm getting a little tripped up.
Brand
I'm tripped up in my own
3669.
brain right there.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun one. I just lost my train of thought.
We love you, Brand 3669.
Thank you, Bren3669.
I
Next
love
comment.
JB
JBDDS.
I love JB
period. I
yeah.
love JBDDS.
Yeah, I
period.
still like coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
Eric Bowling. Golly, the Bowling family. What
Mhm.
do y'all do on the weekends? Laser tag. Guy on stage wore a hat that said "God is dope" at church today. Not usually a fan of hats in church, but I do in fact believe that God is dope, so it's acceptable.
Some people think heroin is dope.
Put that on a hat.
So I don't know. What is this? I guess it depends on your definition of dope that day.
That
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I
Um,
would never wear that hat.
yeah. Or, yeah.
Even, there's a lot I don't like about that. But People are different.
I
than
bet
me,
that's
you know
not
what
a
I mean?
Catholic church.
People are. I can guarantee it's not a Catholic church. Yeah.
What
I
kind of
don't know.
church do you think it is?
I think it's a
One of those
progressive.
ripped jeans,
Yeah.
churches.
Non-denominational.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where everybody's ripped jeans,
In a strip mall.
something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And look, different. You know, everybody's different. This is just a personal thing.
We're not mad at you.
I have. Yeah, I don't think that person's.
We
a
are
bad
mad
person.
at we are mad at the guy who wore that hat.
No, I'm not even mad at him. It's just I personally wouldn't wear it.
Extremely upsetting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. God is dope.
Mm.
Yo. You know, if it were Catholic, it would have been the Virgin Mary's lit.
Yeah.
Ashley Matthews. I think a hats episode could be interesting as you are all clearly hat connoisseurs. Ashley, I think we're about to prove you wrong.
Yes,
Let's
you
get
are.
into it.
Correct.
Let's talk about hats.
I noticed last
This
week.
is bottom of the barrel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kidding. I'm excited.
I'm actually excited about it. I'm a
Of
big
course
hat,
I
I'm a
am.
hat guy.
Yeah, of course.
I noticed last week's episode. This is very rare. Usually, I'm the only one not wearing a hat.
Mhm.
Last week, 4 out of the 5 of us were not wearing a hat. I think that's the first time it's ever been where the majority were not wearing hats.
Dusty was the only one
Yeah.
wearing it? Yeah.
Wow.
For whatever reason, you and Nate both weren't.
Well, I got called out on this podcast for wearing a Braves jersey and a Braves hat
During the eclipse?
during the eclipse.
Yeah.
So I think I was leaving the house. I had a Braves pullover on. I go, what's the move here?
Let me ask you this. Do you
Yeah.
think that jinxed the Braves? That you wore both of those on the eclipse day? And
No.
that's why they started to.
There was a lot. There were bad things happening to the Braves before that happened.
You mean you only have Braves hats?
No, but would I wear a different team and wear 2 teams at once?
So all your hats are a team.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them are a team or like a
Mhm.
brand or something or a NASCAR.
You got to
Something.
be a real company man like Brian.
That's right. I would have worn that hat.
Yeah.
People, and by the way, people ask where they can buy this. I don't remember who sent us this hat, to be honest with you. This is not something that Nate sells.
Uh-huh.
I think a fan sent this to
It's a
us.
nice hat, though.
It is a nice hat. So people always ask, how can we buy one? I don't know.
You can buy this one. Put
So,
a price on it.
Do you guys wear hats on stage? You do, Dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever wear a hat on stage, Brian?
one time I did a show with Dusty at Stand Up Live in Huntsville, and I had shingles on my face.
Got to put some cream on it.
And I think Dusty took me somewhere oh yeah, the shingle ladies. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's, besides maybe an open mic occasionally, it's the only time I've ever wore a hat on a real show.
Golly, did it hurt? Did it like hurt the whole show?
I didn't feel good.
Okay.
This was a corporate gig, right? That we both.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I just remember saying to you, "Are you okay with me still going?" You're like, "Come on."
I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah.
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 I've had skin stuff before.
So you own a ton of hats.
I do. Yeah.
Dusty, you own a ton of trucker hats.
I'd say 2 tons.
I was going to ask you.
How many hats do you think you own?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Have you counted it?
I don't know. I did have to move some around the other day. I mean, I would say, I don't know, let's say 200 hats.
Yeah. That's about where I'm at, I think.
200. And
I
where do you
would say-
keep them?
Well, I moved them all to the top shelf of my closet, one that wasn't really being utilized. And I bet, yeah, I mean, it's so many hats.
I like to buy them as souvenirs if I go to a ball game or if I go to a stadium or anything.
Mhm.
I like to get a hat.
Mm-hmm. I've been with
So-
you before when you've done that.
That's right. Yeah, it's just something, a fun thing to
Yeah.
take away from it. And then that just piles up over the years, dude. And then people start giving you hats and then,
I
I've been-
get so many hats. I just started buying them. I got a hat guy
Mhm.
who knows how to find some old school trucker hats. But up
hat
until then,
guy.
people had just been giving me hats.
Wow.
I still get hats, a lot of hats
You
from
got like
people.
an American Pickers guy going out buying any hats.
Well, we met
Rest in
at a
peace, by the
show
way.
in Missouri and Cape Girardeau. He
Oh,
came
yeah.
and hung out, and then he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I sell hats. I get vintage hats and I sell them." And he sent me so many pictures of hats, and this guy's really got my number.
That's a nice
now.
one he got on right now, Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's a good looking old vintage hat.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of that. I have jokes about it in my act, but it is true. My head is so big that I can't wear most hats.
you wouldn't be
So,
able to wear this one.
Couldn't wear that
I'm
one.
on the last.
Couldn't wear that one for sure. This is a new era 5950. I'm rocking one button, and it's not as comfortable as I'd like it to be.
What does 5950 mean?
5950 is the 5950 is a description of the shape of the hat, like the structure of it and the size. So there's like a 49 and 29. It's all just different crown sizes, and you notice the difference just visually.
Where do you even see that? Is it listed on the tag?
Oh yeah. It's all on the tag.
I don't think I've ever bought a fitted hat, but that's basically all you try to do, right?
I don't like the way no, for whatever reason, I'd rather wear a snapback with one button than wear the fitted hat.
Okay.
I don't know. Fitted hats feel weird to me. Like,
I thought you loved fitted
like
hats.
I'm Fred Durst.
In high school, the
You know?
fitted hat was. I mean, I'm 10 years older, but when I was in high school, the fitted hat, that's what everybody wanted. I mean, that was, you get a fitted hat. They didn't even have them back then.
No, I don't think they've been invented
Yeah.
back then.
You were top hats and stuff.
Have you guys ever, not for fun or ironically, you wear trucker hats, you wear baseball caps, wore either for work or some other style of your life, and any other type of hat?
What?
Not trying to be funny, but like either you think it looks good or for your job.
With my hair, if I wear a baseball cap, it really looks bad.
Why?
I don't know. It just does. I need a high riding hat. This is about as small as I can go.
Well, this is about the same crown size as that.
Yeah.
It's pretty high.
I like the design of this hat, but I'm not particularly fond of the shape.
I got to tell you, a different hat type would just immediately change your whole vibe. If you had a little train conductor hat on,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you'd be like, this guy
Runs a train.
He conducts it.
Yeah, I'm saying the trucker hat gives shape to everything else about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's the finishing piece.
Where if you had any type of hat, I would go that makes sense with the rest of them.
Mhm.
One of those little bellhop hats. You could
We'll
put
put it
that
to the
on.
test today. I got a hat I'm going to wear
Okay.
for I'm going to do a short segment.
Okay.
Dusty was on Pete Holmes' podcast, and he kept talking about how the hat changed his life and transformed it. And Pete was laughing so hard. He was like, "You're saying it's like The Mask, where the character totally transformed when you put the hat on."
Yeah.
As far as comics that wear hats is part of what you think of them, I think you might be the top one. Drew Thomas, we mentioned last week or the week before.
Yeah.
He'll always wear his hat and then take it off and put it on the mic stand.
Doesn't he have like a paperboy hat? What kind of hat? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what
The
that
extra read all about it hat. You know what I'm
I
talking
don't
about?
think you think about Drew Thomas, though, with a hat, though.
I don't.
You don't?
Larry the Cable Guy. I think of.
Yeah.
the
I
hat
guess
guy.
I always notice Drew Thomas because he hangs it on the
Yeah.
mic
Maybe
stand.
that's why I don't think of him, though, because he takes it off.
Well, the reason I asked about that up top is the conventional thinking with stand up is, at least I was taught early on, you're not supposed to wear a hat.
Yeah.
It's the same things that make I've heard Seinfeld talk about this. The same things that make a politician trustworthy.
Right.
No beard, no hats, nothing covering up your face, hiding your facial expressions. Those are the same things you should try to do as a comedian. There's I think JD Vance is the first vice president or president to have a beard
Since
Since-
Abe Lincoln.
since not Abe Lincoln, but I think like maybe, I don't know, Grover Cleveland or one of those.
He seems like he has a beard, Grover Cleveland. I don't know what he looks like, but
Well, he was a fat guy, right? So I think you gotta have a beard if you're a
Probably.
fat dude.
You might be thinking about Taft.
No, I think he was pretty fat.
Yeah,
too.
you're probably right.
Cleveland's pretty
Yeah,
fat.
I mean, Teddy Roosevelt had facial hair. So it's not since Lincoln, but it's probably been early
Oh,
1900s.
mustache is different.
I thought Teddy
mustache doesn't even count as facial hair. Like in the military, I think you're not allowed to have facial hair, but you can have a mustache. And in restaurant business, you can only have the mustache, not a beard.
there's some baseball teams that can't have facial hair.
Yeah.
The New York Yankees famously will make you shave your beard when you have to have a clean face. You can have a mustache. A couple guys on the teams have mustaches, but they will make you shave the beard. And I read on Twitter some baseball reporters talking about that rule alone
Mhm.
has caused some people to be like, I don't want to go play for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Not because of that specific rule, but you're like, if you're going to be that particular about something as unimportant as my facial hair, I don't want to play in that kind of culture. Isn't that crazy?
And then they
I like
offer
it. It does
so
seem-
much money that you're like, all right.
And then they go, "Do you want $680 million over 4 years?" So like, yeah, I'll shave my head. I don't care.
yeah. Shave my eyebrows.
See, Grover Cleveland's pretty fat.
Yeah.
But Taft, for some reason, Taft is the only guy that gets talked about as being fat. But I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, come on.
Especially during that time.
Yeah. And if your name is Grover, you got to stay in shape.
This guy looks like everybody I know right now. But back then, that's big.
Yeah.
There's about like 100 comics I know.
Yeah. I mean, that's athletic.
If he's got that top hat, that's what they wore back then.
That guy's winning bare knuckle boxing matches out here.
Yeah, lifting some triangular.
So you guys never wore like a beret?
Dumbbells.
You had a beret phase or coonskin hat, Dusty?
As a kid, for sure, I wanted to be Davy Crockett.
Well, what is the type of hat I was talking about? The extra.
That's a Newsboys hat.
Derby hat?
The Irish hat.
The Irish hat. Yeah. This hat.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he wears?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I thought that's what he wore. What is that called? A newsboy hat.
Now I know.
And if
what
you're
talking about.
listening, this is the hat that
It's also like a fedora.
That's not a fedora. It's where
No,
like
yeah.
it's got a bill like a baseball hat, but then it kind of droops over to the front of the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Where, in my opinion, it looks ridiculous. But some people can pull it off.
Older
If you-
people
yeah,
pull it off.
If
well.
you are
Cab drivers.
1930s Brooklyn, you can wear that hat.
Or Peaky Blinders, as you see up there.
Yeah, exactly. Once I became a husband and now a father, I had to learn it's time to start taking my finances more seriously. I think we've all been there where we hit a point in our life where it's time to make serious money moves. Take control of your finances by using a Chime checking account with features like no maintenance fees, fee-free overdrafts up to $200, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. When I used to overdraft, I had to deal with those overdraft fees. I mean, we all hate that. They scam people, billions and billions of dollars to take from people. Not with Chime. They allow you to overdraft up to $200 with no fees. It's time to join millions of Chime members who are working on financial progress. Chime is a financial institution with a sense of community. You get spotted on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. No monthly fees or maintenance fees. Plus, they have over 50,000 fee-free ATMs. To date, Chime has spotted members over $30 billion. Friends give friends a boost. Eligible members get a complimentary boost to temporarily increase a friend spot me limit. When you give a boost, they can boost you back to temporarily raise your limit. Listen, make your fall finances a little greener by working towards your financial goals with Chime. Open your account in just 2 minutes at chime.com/Nate. That's chime.com/Nate. Chime feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
Now, do you know what the hat was called that Walter White's alter ego Heisenberg wore?
Oh, man. What is that hat called?
I don't know.
I would have never got this. Pork pie hat.
A pork pie hat.
Yeah.
Pork pie. Where does that come from?
I don't know.
It probably was made out of some kind of pork skin.
Mm.
I had kind of a hat like that I was wearing for a little while. I like that hat, but I got made fun of online one time. Just a very slight remark.
Oh, yeah. I think
That was enough to do it in for me.
Wait, you wore a hat like this?
I had a hat like that I was wearing for a while.
yeah, that's why I
liked
was
it.
asking
Wait,
you guys.
when?
Have you ever
Yeah, I
wore-
forgot about it.
When
Probably
were-
2016 or something.
I feel like there was a picture of you and Ed Wiley.
Were you really?
Maybe, yeah.
And you look like you look like a
Why?
little bit like a Amish/missionary.
Well, I was just, I was messing around with hats. I found it in a store, and it was a Stetson. I found it in a store in
Did you-
Ybor City, and I liked
Uh-huh.
it.
Did you ever have a phase where you wore a cowboy hat on a regular basis?
No, I always wanted to.
Why
No,
not?
I don't. Are you? Because I feel like we're both from basically the
Yeah.
same part of Alabama. I did not have a lot of friends. Nobody wore cowboy hats. Did not have a lot of friends that wore cowboy boots either.
Yeah.
Nah.
Same thing for you?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, and a lot of my roads were paved.
Yeah, yeah. Opelika's not a real cowboy hat place.
And you get out to Texas, that's where you see more of
Yeah,
that.
Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah, I think
Mexico.
people think Tennessee is like that. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying I don't ever see it, but generally speaking.
How often do you see a guy unironically wearing a cowboy hat at the grocery store? Like
Never.
very, very rarely.
I mean, I know I don't know the grocery store. I grew up in the country. There's guys I know out there wore cowboy hats, still do. They work on a farm.
Oh, while they're working on a farm.
Yeah. But they would wear their nice cowboy hat out to a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They take it off when they
But
get
I love to see a cowboy.
they're
hat.
dying off, right?
Probably. Probably. That's a little sad. I love a cowboy hat.
Sorry, I like the idea of it. I just look. My head's so big, I look dumb and everything.
I mean,
So,
Yellowstone probably maybe has helped it. The show Yellowstone.
that's probably true.
I used to
That's
wear
probably
a duster though in school.
What's a duster?
It's like a long
Yeah.
leather coat.
Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
a Columbine looking.
No, I
No,
mean
more
it's
like a
like a hip cowboy.
yeah.
Golly. DuckDuckGo is not working today. What's it called? A duster?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember a duster jacket from Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
exactly.
look sweet.
Yeah.
Dusty wore a duster.
Yeah.
So you wore this with a pork pie hat
No.
and
no.
bleach
This
blonde
is-
hair.
These are all maybe with the bleach blonde hair.
and those glasses.
But you're bringing all the styles in.
Yeah.
All right, there's over 100 types of hats. Baseball cap. Now, we had a big debate, Dusty, on this podcast before you joined us. I wore, I have a hat like it. It's not the one I wore, but.
Okay. Let's see what he's got. Brian's pulling out a hat.
And Dusty, what would you call this?
Well, that particular one, when I was a kid, we would have called that in Alabama, where I grew up. Maybe it was just my mom, but we would have called that a toboggan.
That's what we would
There
have
you
called
go.
it too.
Yeah.
That's what started it. Nate said that, and people lost their minds.
But my wife is someone who loses her mind over that
Yep.
because she's from Canada, and a toboggan is a sled.
And she calls it a toque.
Calls it a toque.
Toque.
And then that, as I got older, I would have called it like a beanie.
I'll call it a beanie now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was basically the three names.
Uh-huh.
Most
or
of
a
them,
winter hat.
most of America, I think, calls it a beanie.
Yeah.
People in the South, go ahead.
You're wearing the no-so hat.
Yep.
Yeah, what's it? The national
Ocean
it's-
and some ocean.
and space. Yeah.
Ocean,
some
space,
lakes and-
ocean?
Yeah, ocean space. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
old episode. Were you
I
on
was
that
on
one?
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. He was
Yeah.
big into that. That
Yeah.
was he and Nate were hand in hand. Space is dumb, and
Mhm.
we should explore oceans.
Oh, SLAR, some lakes and rivers stuff.
yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. Yeah. Somebody made that. Who made that for us?
Somebody. I mean, by the next week,
Yeah.
they had it to
That's
us.
so cool.
Derby hats, coonskin hat, cap, fedora. Indiana Jones wore fedora.
A coonskin cap.
I used to wear that. I was a real country little kid, and I used to wear that just around my dad's place. We just wanted to be Daniel Boone.
Yeah,
Davy
but you
Crockett.
kind of knew it was a funny
Yeah.
thing to wear. Right?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
yeah. No, I don't know anyone who wears that legitimately.
I bet that there are parts of Kentucky, East Tennessee. Do you think there's where some guy?
30 years ago.
You think?
I mean,
You know,
the
there's one guy now just drinking a Busch Light.
the Tennessee Vols mascot is, the guy who brings out the dog. He wears a coonskin hat, but he's dressed like Davy Crockett.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because it looks
Because
like
there was
such
a movie or something, Davy Crockett. I mean, man, we love Davy, King of the Wild Frontier. We
Yeah.
love Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
What did he do? He wasn't the Alamo, right?
I think so.
He was the Alamo, but he did. I think he helped. I get him and Daniel Boone mixed up sometimes.
That's where I'm.
And I think they helped settle this part of the country. I think they helped. I think he was a great hunter, but I think he also helped surveyors or whatever.
Okay.
I should know.
All I knew was that he wore this hat, and I like the name.
Yeah.
Davy Crockett. I love that song.
What did he do on the show?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he just got in
It's not even important.
wild
You know?
adventures.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him, but I remember he
Yeah.
wore that hat, and I thought it was cool. I thought the hat was cool, but I was a little kid wearing that hat. I wasn't. In
You
my
were 16 or
teens.
17 before you stopped wearing
Yeah,
this?
I got my driver's license picture taken in that.
With a duster jacket.
Yeah.
In a coonskin cap.
You ever had a job where you had to wear a hard hat?
Nah.
Not the whole time. I've had jobs where I had to wear them for some.
On site somewhere?
Yeah, for you're doing a particular job.
Yeah.
You a hard hat guy?
No.
Okay.
What in general, like when I'm on stage?
I don't know.
Because people are throwing things at me?
You could be a hard
Start
hat.
wearing a hard hat on stage.
You could be a Tim Allen.
Carry your clipboard. Carry your jokes on a clipboard.
Yeah, you're a construction. You're like Tim Allen, but you're like the
supervisor.
you're the supervisor. You're not actually doing it.
Yeah.
The guy who everyone hates.
You have a laptop.
I was thinking a clipboard and just
You want
making
one
sure
of those
everyone's-
metal clipboards with other papers inside.
right.
Yeah. Trucker hats are sometimes known as gimme hats or feed caps because they originated in the 1970s as a promotional giveaway from U.S. feed or farming supply companies. They were given out to farmers, truck drivers, or other rural workers.
Now, what makes Dusty? I'm going to defer to the expert here. What makes a trucker hat? A trucker hat. I'll tell you. My instinct is when I see trucker hat or when I hear it, I think the mesh back.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, I can only talk about what I think about them.
Oh, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think it has to have the mesh because my first hat that I started wearing was from West Point Pepperell, was a mill near where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And my uncle was a truck driver, and it was his hat, and it had no mesh. I just think it needs to be high riding. Yeah, that you can. Well,
I hear
yeah,
this.
there it is. Yeah, I just think it needs to be high riding, and that's and you want kind of a billboard face. This one's too short. This would not be a trucker hat.
Okay.
But you want a billboard face because you might want some jokes up there.
Is there some kind of functional benefit to that for truckers?
I think for a giveaway though, I think you could put fun slogans on there.
Oh, it's all about maximizing.
I think so.
Okay.
But the mesh to me is more of a summer hat. That's just what you would call that. So you
Yeah,
can
you let your
breathe.
head
I mean, when you're in
breathe
a
a
truck
bit.
stop, there's some funny stuff on those hats.
Yeah.
I mean, women want me, fish fear me. That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I wanted that hat so bad as a kid.
I thought this is true. And in many religions, I guess most, women very often have to wear a head covering. But men, generally speaking, unless God's dope, do not wear a head covering in church. It'd be the opposite. You would take your hat off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think the Bible tells women to cover their heads when they pray and men to not cover their heads.
Mm-hmm. But I know it's more than just when they're praying, but in Muslim tradition, there's a lot of head covering, but it kind of depends on if you're a man or a woman. But in Jewish, you wear a yarmulke.
Right. Vatican II, it's like the 60s and 70s. That's where they
Not as good as the original.
Catholic Church got rid of. Yeah, it was a disappointing sequel, some would say. But I heard, like my grandmother would tell me before that, if you forget, like you're a little girl and you forget your head covering to mass, the girls would just put like a Kleenex on their head
That would
or
cover
something, just some type of covering over it. But that, as long as I've been alive, that hasn't been a requirement
That's
in
interesting.
Catholic Church.
Do you know what the hat that the Pope wears is called? I mean, I know he wears more than one, but the little one?
The papal cap.
Close.
Yeah.
The Zacchetto. I think that's what the cardinals wear, red ones, and bishops wear violet. Pope wears a white one. So, do you know how hat sizes are determined if you wear like a fitted hat?
The size of your head.
Yeah, but a little bit more than that.
Is it circumference? Is it radius? What is it?
Circumference of a person's head about 1 centimeter above the ears.
The amount of heat your head puts off too. You don't want to blow a gasket up there.
Felt hats can be stretched for custom fit.
Can you imagine going to Lids and you go, I'm looking for a hat, and they take out a thermometer and like, see how hot that head gets, brother.
The record for most hats, according to Guinness Book World Records, Scott Legrid. He inherited his father's. I may have even emailed you this.
Mm-hmm.
Emailed his father's hat collection. He has over 115,000 hats. He has John Deere hats from every state.
John Deere hats. Oh my goodness.
Wow,
Yeah,
this guy,
this is awesome.
this guy's
already.
really into it.
I'm into it already.
Yeah, you would like those, right,
You'd
Dusty?
wear all these hats.
Those are
Dusty.
trucker
for
hats.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real flat brim.
And that guy looks like every man I knew growing up.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
too big of a bill.
Yeah, I don't like that. That looks like Smalls from the Sandlot Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah, this guy's got an unbelievable collection.
yeah.
Now, how are you? Do you like to curve the bill at all, Dusty?
It just depends on the hat.
Depends on the hat.
Yeah, I mean, this got a little curve to it, which I don't mind. I like it to be slightly curved. I don't want it to be flat, but I'm not doing that anymore. Remember, people used to put a baseball in the bill and tie a rubber band around
That's
it.
a bit too much.
Yeah,
That's a bit too much.
yeah.
Could damage the bill that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where the hat capital of the world is?
I'm going to say
No.
Oklahoma.
Is it in America?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hattiesburg,
Bartlesville?
Mississippi.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Hattiesburg.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dansbury, Connecticut.
Dansbury.
Oh, that's
Why
nice.
Dansbury?
They had a hat manufacturing company there. Started in 1780. By 1800, they were producing 20,000 hats. By 1859, they had 1.5 million hats annually. That's a ton of hats
Wow.
by 1859. But you ever heard of Mad Hatter disease?
Yeah,
That came from that.
from top hats.
Um,
Because
they
they
were
were using some kind of,
mercury.
yeah.
They were using mercury in the felt for these hats at the factory.
They're using what?
Here we go.
What were they?
Mercury.
Okay. Mercury? Is that how you're saying it?
Mercury. Well, now that one I messed up. Hang on. Mercury. Well, how do you say it then?
Yeah, I'm overthinking. Mercury.
Mercury. Mercury. Well, anyway,
They were using mercury on the hats
yes,
to do what?
in the felt,
Okay.
and it was poisoning workers, and they started having slurred speech, tremors, stumbling, in extreme cases, hallucinations. They called it the Danbury Shakes. The effect of mercury on the workers'
Ooh, that was
health
good.
That was nice.
was first noted in the late 19th century.
That's what I was telling you about. Mind control hats.
Well, that's not quite what I just said, Dusty.
But, you know, you get it, though.
And tell me.
Wait, I don't know. I watched a video on it. I forgot all the details. But
Well, you texted us and you said sometimes top hats were used for mind control.
I know. But you remember those guys where I showed you that video of the weird things in the under the cave, the little cryptoids?
Yeah.
Those same guys made a video about mind control hats. I should have had the link ready.
And that had something to do with Mad Hatters. That
I
was.
think so. That's what they were calling it.
Wouldn't you think if you put on a hat and all of a sudden you start shaking around, convulsing,
But I think
wouldn't you take the hat off?
yeah, but I don't think that's what was happening. I think they were making the hats.
Oh, it was the guys who were making
People
it.
at the factory.
Oh, okay.
So
I
they were
thought
around
by
it all
wearing the
day.
hat, you contracted.
I think you still can though too.
Okay.
But these were factory workers, I think, that were getting this. In fact, the guy who this is interesting. I kind of forgotten about. So John Wilkes Booth
Right.
killed Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
but then you know what happened to John Wilkes Booth?
He died right after that.
He got killed too, didn't he?
He did. They tracked him down to
James Earl Ray. Just kidding.
James Earl Jones.
a thanks, guys.
I wouldn't even
No,
notice,
what
to be
happened?
honest.
Well,
I know that the doctor who helped him got tried for treason, right?
who helped John Wilkes Booth?
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but after he shot Lincoln and ran off, they tracked him down, and I guess he held up in a barn. And one of the guys who was tracking him shot him without permission, shot and killed him instead of taking him alive. That guy had Mad Hatter's disease,
Really?
and they think he suffered mental illness and was thrown into an insane asylum because this Mad Hatter's disease. He was a hat
Whoa.
maker, and he had it, and they think that's why he went crazy and killed John Wilkes Booth without letting him.
Sounds like a conspiracy to me.
It does sound
in the
like one.
making.
It does sound like
the
one.
guy that killed he's crazy.
So somebody assassinates the president. There's a manhunt.
Yep.
And they go, let's call the local hat maker to come out and help us. I guess it was just different times, right? Everybody,
Maybe that was a previous life. He was a Mad Hatter.
all
and then-
hands on
Oh,
deck.
yeah, I guess all hands on deck. Let's go get this guy. It's like in the movies when there's like a posse, a mob.
And some crazy guy who makes hats runs out there and just blows him away.
He was
Yeah.
considered mad as a hatter for going against orders when his unit had
Hatter.
Booth surrounded in a barn in Virginia.
Wow.
Sounds like he did what he was told to do.
Yeah,
was-
Samuel Mudd.
He was forgiven for his disobedience, but left the army and went back to hat making. So I guess he joined the army.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Like a lot of people, my family are not the most tech savvy, so it seems weird to get them a tech adjacent gift. But Aura's digital frame is actually perfect. That's because, yes, it's tech, but it's so easy.
Even for me,
Even for Brian.
I do it.
Yeah, we got this for my dad. Not me and Brian, but we got this for my dad. And now me and Hannah just upload pictures of our kids to this frame. That's true. I read it off this paper, but it is true. We can upload our pictures that day. We showed him how to do it, and he was surprisingly great at it. That's because it really is that easy. Seriously. It's so easy to get started, but then once you do, the tech is incredible. I can upload photos right from my phone in just a click. It'll even pair photos together for me, like two pictures of the same person or from the same day. There's no memory cards or USBs required. There's a reason Wirecutter named it #1 best digital photo frame. It is good. It is one of the best. This is what happens, right? You get these frames and then you load it onto a USB and then you put pictures in there, and then those same pictures stay for 30 years because you never want to redo that again.
Right.
Aura, it's not like that. It's so easy. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code Nate at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code Nate. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply.
Take a couple more, and then we'll get to a little something Dusty's
Okay.
got here.
All
for us.
I'm
right.
into it. I'm into it.
This will be the last thing then. George Washington wore a tricorn hat, triangle-shaped hat with 3 turned-up brim sides. Tricorn was popular in Europe. The first 5 U.S. presidents wore them. I don't think that's accurate. I think that is a bicorn.
Looks like a
Hat.
bicorn to me.
Whoa.
So I think the whole
Well,
Nate
maybe
is
it
George
wasn't
Washington
the only
position.
hat George Washington wore. Maybe he had a couple hats. He was president.
Yeah, but I'm saying the one that he's famously, the one they're trying to portray here.
Oh, yeah.
I think this could be historically inaccurate.
Mm.
Oh,
And I'm calling Nate
man.
out as a fraud.
I love it. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Not quite the same.
The top right up there. Look at that one.
This one
Yeah.
from this painting.
Yeah. I don't think we have any real
Golly.
photos.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Oh, a chef.
Let me look him up on YouTube real quick. See if I can find.
I do have a couple more little facts here.
Yeah.
People used to have to wear hats on Sundays and holidays. In 1571, Queen Elizabeth I ruled that everyone had to wear a hat on those days. The rule was for anyone over the age of 7.
They had to wear a hat.
Yeah.
Just around, just in their house, or
I guess,
Just
or at least out in
around?
public.
that's ridiculous. Dude.
This will be the last one because I can tell you guys are.
No. Just let's end on a good one. Yeah, I was trying to be Nate.
Chefs traditionally wear big white hats, which are known as toques or toques.
Ooh.
They have 100 folds in them. The folds represent 100 different ways that you can cook an egg. I thought that was interesting.
Wow, that is interesting.
Are there 100 different ways to cook an egg?
I don't know.
I challenge you to name 10.
Well, you can fry it, boil it, scramble it. You can.
I'm done.
What do you poach it?
Okay, that's 4.
You can. You make an omelet. You can make a quiche. Make a meringue. You can make mayonnaise.
That's not preparing an egg. That's using eggs for other stuff.
Well, I think that's what we're talking here, though.
Oh no! Well, if it's 100 things that have egg as an ingredient,
No,
that's different.
but a meringue, I think, is mostly egg,
I don't. But if you're
and mayonnaise is mostly egg.
at a restaurant and they go, "How would you like your eggs?" Can I get it mayonnaise?
I don't know. Try it. Let's try it.
Yeah, I'll do bacon, and can I get those eggs meringued, please?
And a hat trick is when in hockey, if someone has 3 goals,
Yeah.
everyone throws their hat on the ice. Have you ever done that?
No, I've never done that. I didn't know that. I guess I've never seen it happen. Oh, the mic's just cut out. I don't know if it cut out for y'all too.
I can hear Dusty.
Mine seems to be working just fine.
Yeah,
I
it's
think we got
just-
it just like we like it.
Dusty's finally got it. Oh, it's just me.
Yours is just unplugged there. You've just unplugged it.
Just unplugged.
How we
Yeah.
like it.
Look
Yeah,
how
he's just-
look how quickly I blame.
Yeah,
The
you just.
system.
I think it. Yeah, you just unplugged it.
So
that's all.
Dusty, I'll end on this, then we'll turn
I'm
it over to
back.
you. You're at a
Okay.
Predators game.
Okay.
You've done the thing. Your face is red. You got them fired up.
Yeah,
Guy scores 3 goals. You taking your hat off, throwing it on the ice.
depends on the hat.
Okay.
So you would do it in some cases.
If it were
If there were a Predators hat they gave you that night,
yeah, for sure. For
you'll
sure.
throw it on
Yes,
the ice.
yes. Yeah, but no, likely not.
All right.
I might be the only guy in the audience with this hat on.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, I'm not throwing this hat, and they're like, well, it's just a old Buick hat, and I'm like, this is my favorite hat.
Mhm.
I looked up at what they do with them because there's sometimes hundreds of hats,
What
know,
do they
out there on
do?
the ice. Sometimes they just throw them away.
Mhm.
Sometimes they donate them to some charity that can repurpose them.
Basically throwing them away.
And then sometimes they give at least some of them to the guy who had the hat trick,
Oh, okay.
which I don't know what he's going to do with 100 hats, but
I think they let whoever's cleaning up the arena that night.
Have
They
'em?
go, "You take these off our hands.
yeah,
You do whatever."
you want to do.
Some 19-year-old kid puts 500 hats in the back of his truck. That's
Maybe,
what I think.
maybe. But I mean, most hats, you wouldn't wear throwing your hats on the rink.
No, it
Would you?
depends. I don't care enough about the Predators to do that. But if it were the team that I was super into, I think you go there hoping that you are faced with this dilemma.
What
right?
team are you super into?
Notre Dame,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Braves, something like that. Probably those two.
Notre Dame scores a touchdown. You just heave your hat on the
We
field.
do marshmallows. You ever see that?
Yeah, we talked about that a little
Yeah.
bit.
They did it. The senior day was this past weekend. They
Notre
did
Dame's on a roll.
marshmallow. We are, man. Number 6.
Play
6
what,
in the
Army this
country, right?
week?
Army is actually a big game. Army is like as good as they've been since World War II.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. They could beat us.
What about this?
All right. If
Okay.
you're listening, just be glad.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have my headphones on, so I can't hear
Yeah.
you. But this is we're doing hats. Look at Brian. Brian's got a hat. I've got a
Yeah.
hat. That fits you actually. That looks
It
good
does?
on you. It doesn't physically fit, but it looks
does-
good on you.
It does not.
But this is
What if I could get my head?
This is a
like
s-
Pinhead Larry.
this is my
Hang on.
segment here. Dusty's top 5 country song.
Okay.
Okay, this
About
is,
hats.
this is going to be my top 5 country songs about hats. Okay,
Okay.
and if you want to follow along, I got the playlist on Spotify. It's called Dusty Slay's top 5 country songs about hats.
All right. I'm excited.
All right. So What we're gonna do, I'm gonna read a couple that didn't make the list, and then I'll do the list.
Honorable mentions.
We have Under This Old Hat.
Can I say how impressive this is? I could not think of any song about a hat.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's make a list and let's include some honorable mentions too.
I got it. Under This Old Hat by Chris Ledoux. Great song. Chris Ledoux's a great cowboy country singer. All Hat, No Cattle by Gene Watson. That's a great hat. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get into the list. I have one more honorable mention, but I'll do it in the honorable mention spot.
Okay.
Number 5 of top 5 country songs about hats. Don't Touch My Hat by Lyle Lovett.
He doesn't even wear a hat.
And this song...
This would be if you go make up a country song about hats.
And this song...
Don't touch my hat.
And this song, he's like, you can have my girl, but don't touch my hat. This guy's like, I've had a lot of girlfriends, but I've been through a lot with this hat. All right. Number 4, top 5 country songs about hats. Cowboy Hat in Dallas by the Charlie Daniels Band.
Oh, I don't know this song.
Okay.
That's a really good one. Number 3, top 5 country songs about hats. Number 3, My Girl Don't Like My Cowboy Hat by Hank Williams Jr.
That's not real.
This is a great song because he's talking about he's dating a woman and she doesn't like his hat, and he's like, he's got some great lines in it, and then eventually breaks up with her, finds a girl that wears a cowboy hat.
Whoa, same hat as him.
Same kind of hat. Maybe not the same hat.
It's true love.
Is that what you want, though?
Has some great lines in it.
You want a woman wearing the same hat as you?
Hank Williams Jr. also has a song called I Like to Have Women I've Never Had. So, he's got a lot of complexions going on. Okay, here we go. Number 2. This is a new song to me. But number 2 on the list of top 5 country songs about hats is Last Cowboy Hat in California by Robert Henry and the Repeaters. It's a great, very jammin' country song.
This is new.
I'd say it's pretty new. He's talking about how, California, there just ain't no cowboy hats left anymore.
What?
Yeah.
And, it says so they're all gone.
The Repeaters, what they do, just say whatever he says?
I think so.
What?
Forgot you were wearing that. That's
a good look for you.
I agree.
Not.
I'm not going to lie to you.
It should go down farther on his head.
It should,
Well,
but
I
it looks
agree.
good, though. No, it looks good like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so
Okay.
too.
It's
All
a
right.
cowboy hat that sits like a yarmulke.
I'm going to start wearing this on stage.
Honorable mention. Another
should.
honorable mention. Here we go.
My
Before
dog
we
took
get-
my hat.
Before we get to number 1, this is called Girl in a Cowboy Hat by Brett Kissel.
I know that one.
I'd never heard of Brett Kissel
Yeah,
before. I just found this song. I think it's a great song.
Yeah, that is a good song.
All right,
Really?
number 1. This song, number 1. Not only is it number 1 on this list, but it's very high on my list of all-time country songs.
This is so exciting.
Such a great song. Here we go. Number 1 of top 5 country songs about hats. This Cowboy's Hat by Chris Ledoux.
Yeah.
Great song. This song is all about a hat. A lot of these songs reference hats.
Yeah.
But this song is about his hat.
Wow.
And it's a great song, kind of a talk country song. Cowboys versus bikers. Recently, they just made a video for it. Chris Ledoux has passed, but his son made the video. Really good. So that's out there
He's
now.
on this list a couple times, huh?
He is, Chris Ledoux.
He's got a real
Also,
theme
a
going.
couple others. Cowboy Hat by John Party is in there. I'm not a big fan
yeah.
of it. Under This Old Hat,
Right.
a bit different than Under This Old Hat by Sawyer Brown.
Yeah.
And
Have
then,
you heard I Wear My Cowboy Hat Sideways by Post Malone? You ever?
No.
That's not real.
It's not real.
I wish it was.
And then there was an alternative song I found called Cowboy Hat by a band called That Dog with a period. I don't mind the song. It's
Yeah.
not country, but I don't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Top 5 country songs about hats.
I appreciate it.
What do you
That
guys
was
think
fun.
about that list?
That was fun.
Well, that was fun. I wish I had known any of them. I didn't know any of them, so I couldn't really comment on them. Is there anything to say? What's so funny, Aaron?
You look funny in the hat, man.
I think it is a good look for you. You look like you're out of a Western.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why everybody's laughing. If you're listening, you look good.
You do look good. It matches your sweater.
Yep, you look good too, Dustin.
Thank you. I bought this vest in Atlanta one time. I never really have a time to wear it. But,
You never have time to wear it. That's the problem.
A time to
Oh
wear
yeah.
it,
Well,
you know?
today's the time.
Yeah.
Ashley Matthews, you were wrong. No, I'm joking.
No, I had a good time.
Yeah,
I had a
was
good
fun.
time.
this was
I
fun.
thought this
Most
was a great
famous hat of
episode.
all time? It's got to be Abe Lincoln's, right?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah,
Is a
Hey.
veil? Would you consider a veil a hat?
Like a bridal veil?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. And because Long Black Veil is a very famous country song.
Okay.
And I would think that would be a good one. And then Merle Haggard has a song called Red Bandana. A bandana, sometimes a hat.
It could be
Sometimes
a hat. It could be a
sometimes
hat,
a
yeah.
mask.
Yeah, it could be a
sometimes
washcloth.
neckerchief. And then, so
All
right.
That's fun.
yeah, I think we're good.
that feels
Think
like a
we're
great
good.
episode.
I think we did it.
We did it. Should we talk about where we're at this week?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, we should.
November 27th. I guess that's a week from today. The Thanksgiving Eve, I'm doing my next Brian Bates and Friends here at the lab at Zany's.
Mhm.
Look, you're already going to be sick of your family. Bring them
Oh,
out to
gosh, yeah.
Zany's. It'll be a clean show, so you don't have to, worry about grandma being offended. Bring your family. Come on out. The lab at Zany's, November 27th. December 13th, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
I always wear this cowboy hat because
Uh-huh.
I love Texas. I'm going to be at Hyenas Comedy Club in Fort Worth on December 13th. Just one show. It's in the Red Room. Some people have messaged me. He's like, I can't find it listed. It's in the Red Room. But just go to my website. It's the best way to do it, to buy
Yeah.
tickets.
What's the website?
BrianBatesComedy.com. And come see me. I really want to sell out these two shows.
Yeah, you can do
Lab
it.
at
You
Zany's
can do it.
in the Red Room at Hyenas in Fort Worth on December 13th. Come on out for those shows. I'll wear my cowboy hat.
Awesome.
It's a good hat.
You're not gonna wear that, are you?
Get it stretched.
What?
Aaron Weber here. Let me tell you, this weekend, Sunday, November 24th, I'm going to be in St. Louis, Missouri at the St. Louis Helium. I got two shows that are both almost sold out. They were sold out, and then we moved it, and then people said, nope.
Mm-hmm.
But we're almost sold out. Like a few tickets. There's still a few tickets available each show. There's a 4 p.m. and I think a 7 p.m. If you're in the St. Louis area, I got a couple buddies from Nashville coming out with me. It's going to be a fun day. So coming out to St. Louis Helium Comedy Club.
Okay. All right. This weekend, Friday night, I'm going to be in Des Moines, Iowa, at a theater. I don't know what theater it
Amazing.
is, but I'll be there. Des Moines. The Hoyt Sherman Place.
It's an awesome theater.
Pumped to be going there. Show's almost sold out, so get some tickets. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be at the Fitzgerald Theater in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Boom.
And that show is basically sold out, but there's some tickets.
Limited tickets.
So they're both pretty close to being sold out. Those are going to be really great. So check those out. And then on Tuesday, I'll be at Zany's, Dusty Slay's Grand Ole Comedy Show here at Zany's in Nashville. So that is November 26th, the day before your show.
Yep.
So come to my show and then come to Brian's.
This is awesome, Dusty. There's I'm looking at the seat map. There's no tickets.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
There's just single seats.
Well, that's what happens with theaters, I've found, is that you get to a place where there's only single seats left and then nobody wants those because they're not, people are not trying to sit alone. But
Yeah.
come to it alone. This is not the kind of show where I'll make fun of you for showing up by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I won't
Going
be
to
like-
stuff alone is so much fun.
Yeah, go alone. Then you
Mhm.
can eat all the popcorn. You can do whatever you want. You can laugh at whatever jokes you want, and it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. And Nate will be back next week.
Nate will be back. It's gonna be great.
This is a great episode. We got a hot cast, hot crew of people that run this podcast.
We
And
do.
what's nice is it's interchangeable. People can come and go, and the podcast remains the same.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing about it.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys.
But what is a constant throughout this podcast, at least has been from day one, is the beautiful people of Genovations
Yeah.
who produce. One of the main compliments we get is not for the humor, but for the production quality of this podcast. And we just want to give a big shout out, Tristan. It's birthday. today.
All right.
How about
Happy
that?
birthday.
How about that? Tristan keeps the
Put-
ship running.
Put the agent curse on him. Happy birthday to you.
No curses. No curses. But thank you, Tristan, for everything. Tristan's the man behind the scenes, keeping everything going. And check out our other podcast, The Consumer, is every Tuesday. Don't make me come back there every Thursday. Nateland is rocking and rolling. Nate will be back next week. We love you all. None of this is lost on us. Have a great week. Have a happy
February 28th, Chattanooga.
Yeah, go to Dusty's special. Come see me in St. Louis. Come see Brian here in Nashville and in Texas. We love you all. God bless.